boys. We're going to pick up another boat. Look what we picked up. We picked up a Marlin. 21-foot OMC outdrive. Not a huge fan, but we'll get through it. Through hole exhaust. Needs some cleaning. I don't know if you can tell how dirty that is. Trailer's in okay shape. We made it home 2 something hours. It's got a little cuddy. Interior's not bad. Pretty cool setup in there. Just ran to Walmart. We picked up a new battery. We're gonna try to get this thing started today. We checked the oil, drive, oil, everything looked good. Gauges worked, the battery was not charged. So we're gonna start with the battery and we're gonna see if we can get this thing to fire. I think it'll run. Let's give it a shot. Here's what we're dealing with. Looks like acorns or some type of rat got in here. Seat cushions. Floors are in good shape. Seat bases need some help. I'll work on those. Need some love in here. Cuddy, need to clean it out. Just needs a lot of cleaning. It's not a bad boat though. If you look past some of the dirtiness of this, it's actually nice. So we're gonna hook up a battery and try to get started. Let me see if the gauge is working stuff. The battery voltage. Nah, nothing. Neutral? Let's try now. Nothing's working. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, Bobo, what do we do?
We had a bad connection at the battery terminal. We spliced it. It's turning over now.
This was our issue right here. We couldn't tighten this tight enough and the ground was bad. So, just the ground. So we're gonna run water to it and see if it starts. Yeah, let's try it. Might have to prime the carburetor. I didn't touch the carburetor. We're not touching any gas lines. The fuel smells good in the tanks. So when you turn the key now, everything seems to go on. Fuel tank's showing nothing, so we'll have to play with that too, but let's see what happens when we put some fuel to it.
A little more. Okay. Why? What happened?
The hose came off. Sounds pretty good.
Sounded like it did on the video.
Go ahead. healthy though, right?
Sounded mean.
That was pretty quick. Look, looks a little better. Looks good. Let's hit the other side. It was. It's all good. It doesn't matter. We had enough. So you saw yesterday that we made some headway with this thing. All we did was power wash the sides. It still needs a buff. Obviously, it's got some spots on it that need some help. You can actually see all the marks from the power washer, just taking some of that grime off. The focus today is cleaning. As you saw, we got it running. Motor sounds super healthy. Interior needs help. It does run. It's having a fuel delivery problem. It doesn't start on its own, but it runs on its own. So it's either something with the tanks, the fuel pump, mechanical fuel pump, or fuel separator. Maybe it just has some dirty old fuel. So you know, we got a lot of work to do, but I was working in there yesterday and we found a bunch of issues. One of the main things was the key switch. One of the wires broke off, the power wire actually, so it wasn't getting any power, and it was temperamental. It would make contact, not make contact, so it wasn't starting. So we fixed that, and then the ground was bad on the battery, so we fixed that as well, tightened that up, and then it fired right up. I couldn't, also the other problem, I couldn't shift it into reverse. We were able to shift it into forward, but we can't get it to go in reverse. I think it's a cable adjustment, but we're gonna have to do some more research. Today, the primary focus though, we're just gonna get this thing cleaned up. I want the interior detailed, so when I'm laying on my back working on things, I'm not stepping in acorns and working in a crappy environment. So let's take all the seats out. Let's see if I can fix some of the seat bases today, and let me see if I can clean it all up. Let's try to get to it. All right, we're in the boat. I'll give you a little tour. Here's the dash. I just cleaned it up with some Armor All. Actually cleaned it up really well. All the gauges look really good. A little rusty. Speaker works. Controls work. Got a little cuddy down there with a bunch of crap. Everything's solid though. Like even the cuddy's solid. Just looking through, I pulled out some wrenches from this little cubby. There's just a bunch of crap everywhere. Same thing with this one. There's just crap everywhere. So I'm just gonna work on getting all the big stuff out, and then I'll vacuum the carpet in there and work my way back. And the seats, I'm gonna give you a little overview of the seat situation. Most of the seats are like this. So someone came in here, added a piece of wood. It's got some mold on it. So this wood is junk. So I'm gonna have to remake this piece of wood to support the seats, because the other thing that's happening is there's a lip here that goes to the base of the seat, and this is rotted, so it rotted out on that side, rotted out on this side. So I need to rebuild the lip so the seat bases can sit, and just obviously clean everything else up. I mean, this thing needs some love. It needs some love. Yeah, see, someone just made their own little base. See this? For this seat. It's kind of the gist that I'm getting. I'm gonna have to do, but it's all wet under there. So we're gonna work on cleaning this whole thing out. So first step, like I said, I'm just gonna get some of this mildew off. All the mildew. One of the best products ever made for this, Starbright mildew stain remover. Check this out. Let's see. It works pretty quick too. Let's see. Take this dirty rag. I can clean this up. That actually looks really good now. Clean that up. Those are gone. I'll wipe this down, put another coat on. I think the seats can be saved a little bit. Like, I can get some tape for this vinyl. I just got to repair the seat bases so people can sit. I'm going to start working, like I said up front, I'm going to crawl in there. It's probably going to be disgusting. And we'll start cleaning up slowly. Got it all cleaned up. Cuddy is pretty clean, actually. It looks pretty good. The floor is cleaned up. I still need to do some more cleaning on the carpets. I cleaned up the inside of all of these bench seats. The driver cushions, I still have to brainstorm what to do here. This is what I'm dealing with. So this actually looks like this goes here. That's nice. Let's see. Can I clean that up? Look at that. Nice. Oh, look at that. Looks a lot better. Yeah, this thing just collapsed, I guess. We're just trying to get this thing running and use it. Kind of crazy, but check this out. If this is accurate, this thing only has 200 hours on it. Super low hour boat. Looks like the last couple years, though, got abused pretty bad. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, the hours. All right, so the interior is pretty much clean. So now I feel good working in here. We need to do the engine compartment now. This is gonna be the tough one. Dandy oar to hold this up. Like, this is what I've been finding all on the boat. Thank God they didn't chew up any wires. There's like just a ton of, there were squirrels in here, man. It sucks. Squirrels. So let's get to work. Check this out, bro. What the hell happened? All right, we got it pretty clean. We got all the mouse or whatever the hell it is, raccoon stuff, squirrel nuts out. We didn't get way in the back there. I think we'll detail all that another day. Custom. We took a bunch of 2x6 pressure treated. I'm not going crazy with this. This is a budget boat, okay? I found this wood in the boat, actually. It looks like it's pressure treated, not in bad shape. And they taped a blowhorn to it, like a truck horn or train horn. Kind of funny. A bunch of duct tape. So I took all the duct tape off. I'm just going to repurpose this for now. If this rots, it is what it is. We'll have to redo all the seats by the time this rots. So I'm going to cut this. I took measurements. We're going to do 20 inch by 3 inch. So the first one we're going to do is this piece. Prop this up. Yeah, there we go. That's it. All right, here's what I came up with. This is temporary. Obviously, I got to redo all of the interior, but for now, what I'm going to do is I took I don't even know what these are. These are like 3x3s or whatever they are. I'm going to screw them into the original base. I'm going to make sure the screw's not too long. Go into that original wood. Same thing on this side. And then we built this little platform here, and this is supported now, so you shouldn't fall through. Like I said, all of this is kind of rotted, so I give this a couple years and all of it'll fall apart, but at least we can still use this storage, and people won't fall through when they sit on the seat anymore. And then this is extra, but same thing over here, and then you still get storage. All right, we did pretty good. Cleaned it up. You can sit on the bases now. Ugh. Nothing falls through. You can sit anywhere on the bases and not fall through. Kind of curious, does this work? All the speakers work, wow. That's crazy. All right. Oh, Bluetooth, there we go. Let's see. Nice, we just connected, let's see. Yeah. All right, we turn that off. Let's get back to work. So I'm gonna have to redo the whole interior eventually, but hopefully I can get a couple years out of this the way it is. We still have to get the drive to go into reverse, and then we'll come back out sometime this weekend and start messing with the fuel issue, see if we can get it running. Really cool designed boat though, so keep you posted. Oh wow, mirror finish. It's just a lot of elbow grease, that's all it is. It's work. It's work, yeah. It's supposed to rain, so my dad brought over this tent. Hopefully, you know, we don't have a cover for this, so hopefully this stays up. First day in the books. Cleaned, ran, stayed running, shifted into forward, not reverse, and will not start on its own fuel. Everything else seems to be good. So, oh, we had a massive storm last night, and kind of figured the tent would do something like this. Never seen something like that before. I'm gonna try to get in the boat and push it up. Some ingenuity. Check this out. We zip tied a golf club shaft and a piece of wood to hold this up. It pulled up pretty bad last night, but the storm was pretty bad, so an exceptional situation. Where are we going today? Say boat. 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 Going boat show. Boat show. All right. Grace, look at the boat. Look at the boat we got. Marlin. What do you think, Grace? You like it? Look, Daddy power washed it, made it look good. You want to touch the boat? Here we are. Look at that boat. It's like a houseboat. You know what boat we're going to look at first? Let's go.
Got it.
That is so sick. This thing is gorgeous. You think this is rebuilt?
No. This is all original. This is a newer boat. This is from, I think, I would say, oh yeah, 2012. 2012.
We just got back from the Lake Apacon boat show. Shout out to all the guys, Doug and Scott, some of the other guys that we saw there that you know, showed us some of their boats and just had a friendly conversation. It's always fun seeing people that support the channel. So thank you guys. And I don't know if you all can see this, but there's two cables, one lower, one upper. I don't think this upper one is in the right orientation, and the only thing holding it in looks like a carter pin. So let's pull that carter pin out, set that to the side, let's pull it off. That should be reverse right there. That should be reverse. So let's go down low and check. Let's see, please be in reverse. Nope. All right, this lower unit's gonna have to come off. That sucks. God damn it. Let's try a few more things. All right. Well, we got screwed. It's all good. You can't get mad at this stuff. I gotta rip the lower unit off and see if it's see what the culprit is. I believe it's easy to take this off. I believe you can leave the trim on, actually. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off, and then you can actually use the trim to push the whole outdrive out. So I think we're gonna have to do that. Ah, man, kind of sucks we have to do that, but like I said, we got to do it. Right in here, somewhere in this section, there's you could actually probably see the cables coming through. There's the cable. Here's the shifting cable right here. Another bellow up there that's drive rotted. Yeah, that thing's gonna have to get replaced, that bellow. I was hoping we could take it out as is, but we're gonna probably have to. We're gonna have to do bellows on this freaking boat. This thing just keeps coming at me with more and more surprises. Yeah, it's a cable adjustment for sure. The outdrive, I gotta look it up. Maybe the outdrive has to be all the way down for the cable to work. Interesting. All right, we're back on the Marlin. Let's see if I can take this off. Broke it loose, so let's see. All right, let's see if it turns over and the fuel comes out. No fuel. All right, so we just tested out the fuel system. It's not getting fuel. The fuel pump is bad, indeed bad. Yeah, we'll get her going, just a matter of time. All right, let's see how this does. We loosened the 6 bolts on the side. I just want to see if I get a little separation. If I What the fuck? What is going on? Oh my God. What is this? All right, the GoPro died, but I just wanted to show y'all what I'm dealing with. I took the outdrive off. This was in right underneath the shifter. So I'm pretty sure if you pull that down, that's what shifts it into reverse. And because there was a bunch of stuff there, it couldn't shift down. I think the gear case is actually good. I do. I think it might need new seals, but I actually do think this is good. Looking at this bellow from underneath, you can see the dry rot there. So this one has to get replaced. It looks like all it does is like clamp in here. Never done a bellow before, so this should be interesting, but I'm gonna order a kit. So it shouldn't be that hard. There's a ton of corrosion in here though. I would like to clean all this off. Like, look at that. Check that out. And like all this, even the cable is like kind of corroded. So I gotta send some pictures to my buddies, see what they think, but we got it off. It took a long time to get it off. Oh my God. This thing was like in there, bro. It actually doesn't look bad inside. It's just the outside's a little crusty. I might just have to pull this whole arm out and see what I can get out, because this is probably why it wasn't shifting. It was getting into this stuff. Now I'm curious here because I'm digging a little bit further. I took a pick and I'm just getting all this crud out of there where the shift is. There's up. Yeah, look, it's moving the drive shaft that's locked in. Now let's go down. There's neutral. There's reverse. All right, ran out here this morning. We drilled some holes, which was a pain in the ass. But as you can see, we drilled one here. I don't know if you can see that. And we're gonna use the boat buckle from Boat Outfitters. These things are awesome, look at that. No more lugging around straps. We just have to bolt it in. So you just drill one hole and then you just bolt it together. So we gotta just tighten this up. So to use these, and it's really cool, here's the release, and then there is a little button. You hold the button, and then you can start cranking. And then it's super tight. And then if you want to release, just release. That's how you do put these little ratchet straps on there. The boat buckle, I think they're fantastic. I think these inventions, like stuff like this, is awesome. All right, we came out pretty early this morning. We took this whole assembly off where it shifts. So this is the shift cable, right? I don't know if it's zooming in or focusing, but this is the shift cable. If you take this off, you can actually thread this metal piece here in a circle, and you can make it so the cable is longer or shorter on the motor side. That's the cable adjustment. This here is the actual arm that moves to actually make it shift forward and reverse. So this goes up and down. Cable goes in and out, pushes this up and down. So what I did is I took this out, cleaned it all really well because there's a lot of corrosion, and I just packed everything with grease. Up all the pivot areas is greased up. It looks like it's good. It's you know, it's supposed to be like this, not much play there. You don't want a lot of play anywhere, to be honest. And it'll move freely now. There's no more corrosion down there, so this arm can move freely. We tighten this back up. So the next steps is we got to wait for that tool to come in. We're going to mount it here and keep this in the neutral position. And then we can go inside the boat and make all the adjustments we have to make on the cable there. Now, we got to go up top, take the cable out, and adjust the length. There's an ESA switch right here. See this thing? So every time that I adjust this forward cable, or just shift cable in general, it doesn't go fully into forward and line up with that ESA switch. So I think this cable's shot. I think it's too hard to push, and it's making it so the ESA can't engage properly. So I think we're gonna actually have to redo this shift cable. We'll just do a new cable and call it a day. I think the cable is just something that I'm gonna be chasing my tail with. Here's an Amazon fuel pump. I know I don't want to use this. I have a name brand Sierra fuel pump coming in the mail, but I'm getting a little antsy, and I actually think this one has pretty good reviews. So the only issue we're going to run into is, I don't know if you can see this, but I believe this is the outlet. This is the inlet. So this comes from the fuel filter. This comes from this goes to the carb. So the one issue that we're going to have, obviously, is alignment. So this hose goes down into here, and this goes into the carburetor. So obviously this isn't going to work anymore, just based on where it is. It's over here now versus over here. The wood on the bottom here, they look terrible. Let's take these off, start fresh. Across the board. All right, got them all mounted up. All the seats are solid now. The fuel pump is off right now. We're waiting for one to come in Saturday, so a couple more days, and then we can throw the fuel pump in, see if she runs on her own. If she runs on her own, the motor's good. Then the next step is just getting it to shift, which is just the outdrive, which we're waiting for a bellow and a shift cable to come in. All right, so I don't know if you can see it. Let me try to get you down there. Right there. That is the fuel filter. So we're gonna get down there and we're gonna see if we can loosen that off. Got her out. So it's a Sierra 187846 fuel water separating unit. It's pretty cruddy. We're gonna go ahead and get a new one of these. All right, so it's a couple days later. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to me. We're working on the boat a little bit in the morning, and then we're hanging out with the fam. So just want to show y'all some stuff. We got a new fuel filter. We got a new shift cable. We have a pack of bellows and some gaskets. So here's the drive. This is the old fuel pump. Here's the line to the fuel pump. So we were actually going to convert from the steel line here. This goes from the fuel pump outlet to the carb. So we were going to try to rig something up and use regular hose pretty much. So I was going to use some of this fuel rated hose. Nothing like a day working on the boat. All right, we got a good one for you today. We're going to install this fuel pump. Should be interesting. We need to get this way down there. Oh. I'll show you. When you go to install this, there's a rod that's facing like this that goes up and down the motor that pumps this. You just have to get that rod above this and basically sits right here. And then you put 2 bolts through, obviously. The hardest part about this job is that you have to get all the lines oriented the correct way. So for example, this one is going to have to be on here, and you can't tighten this one after because you can't get to it. And then on top of that, we have a gasket. So I got to hold that rod up at the same time as putting this gasket on and making sure that line works. And then you put it on there. And all right, so we struggled for like 2 hours here trying to do this fuel pump. I had a Sierra fuel pump as well, so that other one was a Delphi, I think that's how you say it. Long story short, I couldn't get it to line up because the way that the fittings were cocked, I couldn't get it to line up. It was hitting the block, which is crazy because the OEM one had the same orientation. It was off by like, you can't see it by the blind eye, but it was off by 1 millimeter or 2, and it was hitting the block. So I was wrestling with the thing for a while, and I couldn't get it. So what we're doing, we're gonna use the Sierra one because it's totally different makeup, and we're gonna reuse this inline. This is coming from the filter, and then we put a barb fitting in here, which is gonna go to the carb. I know you're supposed to use a metal line. I totally agree. We are gonna try with this setup though, just to get the thing to run, and then I'll get a metal line created that'll fit into here. So either we can probably thread that on right here, and just I'll measure and recut something myself, bend something. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna record any of this. It's a pain in my ass. I'm gonna use grease to hold the gasket in place on the pump, and then I have to finagle my way down in there, hold up the push rod, and get it to sit on here, and then I could bolt it up. And now it will bolt up because I have no lines in the way. I have nothing to really fight me. It's a Carter pump on there right now. That was the one that's on there. I couldn't find a rebuild kit for it, so we're just gonna try this. So wish me luck. Let's try to do this, see how it goes. I'll be back. Hello. Get a boat, they said. This should be fun, they said.
Where's Dada?
Hi. You want to come up? Oh, my finger fell off. Oh my god, this is not fun. Alright, I'll show you what's going on. So we got all the fuel pump hooked up. I don't know if you see down there, but there's this right here, the metal line. That's the feed. This is the out. So I couldn't make the metal line that I had work, so we just put a barb fitting on there and we ran that up, and we're running that right to the carb. I'm very curious if this thing will run. So let me just double check the fuel pump bolts, and then we can test run this thing, just see if it starts on its own power. All right, we're going. Ready? All right. We took one of our, like just a priming bulb, you know, just to suck some fuel. So what we did is we removed, I don't know why I said it like that. Right here, that is the inlet line for the fuel filter. And it comes from this hose right here. You can see we have it rigged up right now. But that comes from back there, which is the fuel tank switch. I want you to listen to this. So when I pump this bulb here, right, it sounds like it's pumping. And you can put your finger on this side, it's definitely pulling fuel. And then if you listen real closely, so I am hoping that it's just this line on the bottom, but just checking all of the lines, they all feel like shit. So I think we need to replace all fuel lines on this boat, unfortunately. I don't think it's gonna be that hard. We literally just gotta trace back the lines. And I believe one is right here. And yep, that's one of them. It literally loops up and goes in the back. And then we have another line coming off of this side of the tank that loops around as well. I am not going to assume that the fuel pump is bad or there's issues with the fuel pump yet until we replace all of those fuel lines. Got our lineup of stuff. Shift cable, bellow, tools, shift tool, long screwdrivers. Everything you need for this pretty much. Let's see if I can get in here and get the... Just want to pop it in. Bellows off. It actually doesn't look as bad as I thought. The reason why I took it off is because of this. See the cracking? It probably would have lasted a while, but so here's what you do. It goes on this side up because you want the extra crease on the bottom for when it flexes. The worm clamp stayed on there, so I'm going to finagle it on, and then we have to put a bunch of glue and pull the bellow through. Got Bobo over here helping me out. Put some numbers on.
Looks okay.
You can't even see them though. I don't know if the cops would care. Check this thing out.
That's what you took out?
That's a bellow. This is what seals the drive shaft, like the U-joints.
Yeah.
So this is what the outdrive connects to the motor.
Okay.
So there's all the grease in there. So if this gets water, obviously it gets in the boat. You could sink. The only reason I did it is because, where is it? This is the bottom half. Do you see the cracking? See it?
Yeah.
Well, it's apart. Why not do it, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks for doing that. All right, let's work on the shift cable. Is disconnected from this side. We need a crow's foot because there's a nut behind here to get that off. So you pick this up and get that off. What we have to do here is remove these Carter pins, and then this cable slides right off. And then we can pull this cable through this way. So the cable is going to get fed through back here. There's the bellow. You can see there's two zip ties locking it in place. So we're going to probably remove that bellow. We just need to get the cable up here, so we'll feed it through. We'll tape that old new cable to this cable and pull it through. No cameras, please.
No paparazzi.
I didn't have this recording the whole time. I didn't get any of that. Let's explain what happened here. I just didn't hit record here, but basically your cable comes in through the back here, and the whole assembly threads in. And when I was doing it, the sleeve broke off for the shift cable. So we thought we had a catastrophic failure here that we'd have to fix, but no, the whole piece threads in. So we got to clean up in here, put some grease, and then rethread a new cable in. It took us a little bit to get this through. It does feed through with the trunnion on, but the issue we ran into is there was a serious like bow coming from the transom, so we had to pull the whole assembly or whatever, this tube through here, and then we could feed it through, and we were able to pull it through. But we put a little dish soap on it and it came through pretty easy. But if you're doing this, you're gonna have to reposition this. It was definitely kinked. I think the angle was in the transom straight up, so some of this is too straight for it to make that turn, so it's probably just poking the tube. And apparently online people said if you mess up this tube, you got to take the motor out. So yeah, once again forgot to hit record, but we got the inner bellow on, and we put the worm clamp on there. Now we're gonna work this outside bellow out here, but we're gonna put bellow adhesive all on this and on the outside of that ring. Serious progress today. We got the new bellow in. That's all bellow adhesive. It looks that stuff is nasty, man. And then we got the clamp inside looking good. It's sitting in the groove all the way around, and we got that clamp tightened down, and the bellow is all around seating on the lip. So I know that it's all installed properly. And then we also fed through a new shift cable today. So we got the back here all lined up correctly. It's just sitting free in the boat right now, but everything right here feels really, really good. There's no way to really check the bellow for leaks unless you put it in the water. But water's not going to leak from this side because this is going to be sealed up. It will only leak from the bottom. So you're really only sealing, when you do bellows, the inside underneath the bellow itself, like all around that tube there. So, and we don't need an exhaust bellow. This is a through-hole exhaust. So we just focused on that today. So we have the alignment tool. Super corroded in here. This was definitely a saltwater boat, so something that we got to keep in mind. Everything else is in pretty good shape though, the outdrive shifts and everything. So as long as we get this on and everything has like a good enough range of motion, everything feels pretty smooth. This works really nice now. So I think it should shift now. We'll throw, once we get the shift cable and everything aligned here, we'll throw the outdrive back on, clean both surfaces, use some sealer, put everything back together. And the outdrive and everything should be good. And then we got to put new fuel lines to the gas tank, the fuel pump, and then she'll be a wrap. We could probably get the bilge pump hooked up, get the blower ready, because the blower's not working right now. Get the rest of the gauges working, make sure it runs on the hose well after the fuel lines are replaced, and then we can take her out. Oh, another side note, we picked up another outdrive. This one's super clean. Yeah, it's got a little oil here. I think it's from opening the drain, but dude, this little skeg is bent here, but everything else on this motor, this outdrive is super clean. So manual here, and we have our shift tool. Throw this on like that. We're locked in. Now, what you do, you take your little tool here. So we're locked in at the bottom. I'll go check, make sure the arm's still locked down there. That's keeping it neutral. And then what you do is you set this up. This is where your trunnion lines up to. Put the center of your trunnion. The back nut sits against this, and then you put the cable in. So I'll show you in a second what that looks like. See, you put this on the tool. The trunnion back here is lined up with that point like I showed you right here, and then the nut is sitting against this. So we are spot on. Now you can push the cable back that way and sit it in the boat. You want to make sure you keep that adjustment because that's where you're basically going to have neutral on all your gears. And then you make final adjustments, obviously, once the everything's good there, looks good. You can put, I'll probably double check these nuts one more time, but you leave everything there, you tighten down this lock nut, and everything's set up. Again, tighten those one more time, and we're good to go. I took some ring grease. I greased up the gimbal bearing. You can't really see in my video, but yeah, it's all greased up in there. It's all packed in. It looks like they had some ring grease on there already. This U-joint looks a little bit rusty. Not a huge deal, but you can see we packed everything with grease from the fittings. So everything is pretty much greased up and ready to go. We cleaned off this gasket surface already, so we can put some sealer on here and get the outdrive put in. We don't know if this outdrive is good, but we also don't know if the other outdrive is good. So, and this one, I don't know if you can tell, but this thing is so clean, man. I mean, it has a cracked cover, but you know, we can use the other cover for this. This one looks horrible. And I think there's actually gear oil coming out of the drive shaft seal up there. The U-joints here look a little bit better than the one that's in there, but at the same time, like, this thing's corroded. This thing was in salt water for sure. So this will be probably a backup for us, a spare. Truth, let's see how bad this oil looks. Just take it out quick. Oh, that's cherry, dude. Unless he changed this. That's freaking cherry, bro. And there's these are. Nice. We cleaned off all the surfaces, scraped off all the old gasket. We got a really cool package in today. So I've been running into an issue with the boats where I can't get the stern of the boat up high enough when I park it in my driveway because there's a hill. So Oxbox sent me these to try out. It's a lot heavier than I thought it'd be. Let's check this thing out. This thing is freaking cool, man. So Ox blocks, check them out. It's a trailer jack block. This is one of many products that they have. I got the standard one. It's for a single wheel or a rectangle trailer jack. I think that I'm going to attempt to use this with the dual wheel setup over there. I think it'll be fine as long as one wheel sits in this little section here. This thing is super heavy duty too, so I think it'll be okay. And then I have some other, they also sent me wheel chocks. Oh wow, this is also heavy duty. Thank you Oxbox for this. This is cool. Check this out. Oh dude, this is great. I didn't expect them to be this heavy duty. Like in the videos, you probably can't tell, but these are like super heavy. And then they sent me one more thing. Yeah, look at that. So let's just say, you know, for whatever reason, I wanted to raise the boat, and the trailer jack can only go so high. I could actually stack these on top of each other and get it even higher without having to like worry about a jack. Not expect. This is like super thick rubber and plastic. Like I can't even explain like the thickness of this. This is really cool. So yeah, go check it out. I'm gonna go put these on the boat and we'll come back and I'll show you what the outcome is. Let's come over here. Let's check this out. So for the longest time, oh, there she goes. For the longest time, I've always used wood as a wheel chock. That is great. Look how much better that looks than that piece of wood. Oh my god, look at this. I've been using this to hold this 22-foot Marlin. See ya. Look at this. Oh. Ooh, you can even get worms with them on the side, huh? I'll move them, don't worry. Back. Wait, check out this trailer jack. Check out this wheel chock. That's freaking awesome. Good morning, fellow boaters. It is 4:30 a.m. We got all of our stuff set up to get this outdrive back on. We failed the other day. We got an alignment tool. Everything's aligned. Coupler, gimbal bearing, everything's good. It slides in smooth. I know it's not a motor alignment issue. I think what's happening on these OMCs, and I did a little bit of research, is two things. The drive shaft seals and the gimbal housing, or the bellow housing here. You have to get it past that, and it's a tight squeeze. So I think that's causing my problems. And I didn't give it a good kick last time. I was kind of being gentle with it. It was also 100-something degrees out, and I didn't have a hoist helping me. Got the hoist set up today, so we're gonna try to strap this lower on, like around it, and so it makes it easy for me to reposition everything and get everything set up. Alright, put 25 all the way around. I'm getting curious. We're gonna shift it into forward. See if we have forward here. Please. Yep, we got forward. Let's see. It's locked in both directions. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. All right, it's shifting. I mean, it's better than the other one. All right. Let me just make sure trim works. It went on kind of easy. It's just you needed the strap. Kind of sucked it in, and then the problem we had is like there was like, I don't know, the slightest little gap on top there, and that is what gave me the most trouble at the end there. I had to use the bolts pretty much to get it on the rest of the way. It was probably just maybe those seals on the drive shaft, I'm not sure, but I think the biggest test is later. We're gonna check the ESA out. All right, boys. Well, the GoPro died there at the end, but got the old prop off, new prop on. Spins nice. This is actually called a raker. This is a 20 pitch prop, stainless steel. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna take some cleaner now and just clean the outdrive up, and then I'm gonna take this cover off real quick. We'll take a look at the water pump, see what it looks like. Oh my goodness. This thing has seen better days, huh? All right, so here's the new. Here's the old. They look exactly the same. This will go this way. Sorry, this way. You might not have been watching at all. The O-ring here seals from this plate this way, and then the other gasket, when you tighten this down, seals the other way. That was right. Made some progress, got the hoses off, the gas lines. This is if you're looking at the stern of the boat, left, center, and then the right run's a little bit longer. I got 25 feet of gas line. Don't know if I have enough. I might have to order more. We're gonna cut the long one first, see how much we can get out of these two, and then we'll see if we have enough. Well, we did it. We got the new gas lines ran. I don't know if you can see back there, going to the switch valve, the two coming into the top, one coming down to the bottom. The one is sitting right here. That's going to hook up to the fuel filter, which is going to feed the fuel pump. Fuel pump's currently loose. You have to tighten that up. You can see the fuel hose ran right there. It goes to this one tank, and then there's another one going to this tank. I put 2 clamps on the tank side. That's how they had it from the factory. Those are smaller inlets, so we just did one on each side. All new lines run. I still have to hang them up and clean it up and stuff, but I think that'll fix our issue. Now that we have that run, we will come out later, tighten up the fuel pump, prime the system of fuel, and we'll see if she starts on her own. All right, we came back out. It's pretty hot, so I just took a little break, but we put the inline bulb just to pump some fuel. We're getting extremely clean fuel. I mean, it looks pretty good coming from the tanks. So we just hooked it back up to the carb. No leaks here, which is good. And a funny story, but when I was cleaning up the boat, the one wrench that I found in this boat was a Craftsman 16 millimeter. I don't generally have 16 millimeters. I never really use them, but I've been using this for every single thing on this boat because everything is a 16 mil. So that's pretty good news. But yeah, anyway, I think we're in good shape. I hate leaving that hose on there. I wish I could just connect everything back up, but I still have some testing to do once my daughter wakes up to see if it'll run. I have no doubts that it will run, but yeah, I'm just curious if it runs on its own fuel pump now. First start.
That's where the water pump is?
Yeah. There's a quick check we can do. See if it's pumping. All right, we're all good. Let's do one more quick walk around of the boat. Out drive's on, water pump's done, shift cable's done, bellows done, prop is on, engine runs, new water pump. New fuel pump, new fuel lines, new fuel filter. She's pretty. She's getting dirty again, but I gotta clean it. Look how shiny this is, though. Let's see reflection off of that. It's nice. Cool. It's a big boat. Gotta get the bilge pump working next. So stay tuned. Let's try to get her on the hose and running. Peace.